Our next speaker is Lord Eric Avebury. Eric is a long-standing friend of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and has had a distinguished parliamentary career. He has a zeal for human rights and founded the Parliamentary Human Rights Group and currently serves as its vice chair. He has been a member of both houses, having been an MP for Orpington and entered the House of Lords in 1971. His interests are wide-ranging, but his focus on human rights is his key. I now have the honour of welcoming Lord Avebury.
Your Holiness and sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum. I must say the honour is mine, and it's a particular honour to be called first and to be allowed this privilege because I have an apology to make. I'm also required over the road, and it was a wonderful idea to have this celebration in the Queen Elizabeth Centre because you have, I know, many friends from both houses who are attending and who are joining you in this wonderful celebration of the centenary. I'm delighted to congratulate you on the centenary and to congratulate you on the work of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community worldwide, of which you've just been hearing a little fraction. I know something about this because I've had the opportunity of discussing it with Your Holiness and with many members of the community who've been active in the work. Your own work, Your Holiness, particularly in West Africa, is well known, and we heard just now about your attempts to bring water and energy supplies to some of the poorest communities in West Africa. But that's just one example. I mean, your members in 190 countries spread all over the world, in Africa, in the Far East, in the Indian subcontinent, and of course in Europe and North America, foremost in doing wonderful works. I remember when the earthquake happened in Kashmir, you were amongst the first with your tremendous humanitarian organization, rightly named Humanity First, in bringing succor to the victims, helping them to reconstruct their homes and their lives, and to resume their occupations in that terrible stricken land where so much was destroyed of the fabric of life. And you did the same in the tsunami in Indonesia. Everywhere that mankind suffers, your members have been active in bringing help and saving lives and limbs. And yet, as you reach this 100th year, there are some problems. And I think they're problems that your friends can help with. We've just been talking about the very unfortunate incident which happened in the medical college in Faisalabad last week when 23 Ahmadiyya students, some of whom were reaching the end of their undergraduate careers, were unceremoniously dismissed and prevented from taking the examinations which would start them out on a career of humanity. And this is one example out of, unfortunately, all too many which have happened across the world, which are the counterpart and the obverse of the tremendous work that you do in helping everybody. I mean, it's paradoxical and perverse, if I may say so, that a movement such as yours, which has been so key in helping other people, should find its members on the receiving end of this kind of victimization and persecution. And I hope that this is something your guests will take note of this evening and will assist you in countering, because as the next 100 years of the Khilafat begins, let us make a resolution. Let us make this resolution to promote the message of peace and brotherhood, which is your message to mankind, that people of different religions should not quarrel and fight with each other, but should accept and tolerate and live together in that spirit of brotherhood and peace, which is the essence of your religion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Baroness Sayeeda Warsi, who is the Shadow Minister for Community Cohesion and Social Action and is a member of David Cameron's Shadow Cabinet. She is a former Vice Chairman of the Conservative Party and Shadow Minister for the City of Sheffield. Sayeeda has been active in seeking to promote social harmony and to ensure engagement with all community groups. She is a qualified solicitor and regularly appears in broadcast media, often on BBC Question Time and Radio 4 Woman's Hour. She is a passionate champion for community affairs. Baroness Sayeeda Warsi.
Your Holiness, distinguished guests, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me here today to celebrate with you 100 years of leadership within the Ahmadiyya community. Lord Avebury spoke before me and he said he was privileged to speak first. Lord Avebury, I'm privileged to speak after you. It somehow shows the diversity of the House of Lords. You were introduced into the House of Lords the year that I was born. Let me also give David Cameron's good wishes. He could not be here this evening, but he asked me to pass his good wishes to all of you here today. And let me also say that I'm delighted to see so many of my colleagues, both members of the House of Commons and members of the House of Lords, Conservatives, who are also here celebrating with you. As Shadow Minister for Community Cohesion and Social Action, I regularly get asked, that is a huge title, what does that exactly mean? And I say, well, community cohesion to me means how we live at ease with each other in our communities. And what better motto than the one that you repeat all the time, which is love all, hate none. And as Shadow Minister for Social Action, I say that to me means putting back into the communities from which we came. And the humanitarian work of the Ahmadiyya Association and the Ahmadiyya community in health and in education and in poverty relief is really the true form of social action, working within communities of all backgrounds. The Ahmadiyya community's contribution to interfaith work is commendable. I felt that I needed to stand up and be counted. And I know that many, many of you, and indeed Your Holiness, stands up and is counted when it matters. And therefore, I'm delighted to be here today to be celebrating this day with you. Thank you.